Back to 2 a week, baby. Two weeks. I don't know. The saying was, like in sports, football, wrestling, baseball, everybody, 2 days, like 2 day practice. Practice. We'll lift in the morning, practice at night, or practice in the morning, practice. I don't know. Whatever. We're back. Second episode this week. Okay, we're started off November, sluggish, struggling, however you want to call it. We were not doing well. Okay, I think we've only had one upload to this point. Maybe before this week, I think we only had one, maybe two. I don't even remember. Not my best work, so that's on me. Tuesday was a banger. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've been diving into the shorts a lot. I can't, I'm pretty shocked. My guy Chase from work, he keeps telling me he runs his own gaming channel. And he keeps telling me, if you're just more consistent with the shorts, if you're consistently uploading them, they get the views. Who knows if it's going to go anywhere? I have no idea. Probably not. But you just got to be consistent because YouTube Shorts is insane. It's a dopamine hit every time I open this analytics app for YouTube. Like this one I posted on Tuesday night about Florida's weather has almost 1,000 views. It's at 960 views right now, and I got someone from Daytona commenting on it. I have someone else commenting from, I don't want to get this wrong, New Smyrna Beach as well, and it's crazy. I don't know these people; they don't know me. It's crazy that these people are just commenting on my stuff. I had Tim Johnston, who is Joel. I don't know why his YouTube handle is at Tim Johnston 2163. He just says I hate bugs too on the comments. So I appreciate the engagement. But yeah, that one's almost at 1,000 views. My Trevor rant one is almost at, I think, 400 views. Yeah, it's getting there. It's crazy. I don't get it. I love it though. I do have one complaint. I have 4 dislikes on that Florida cold weather short. I don't know why there's 4 dislikes. There wasn't really anything controversial in that video. I did tell someone to lynch me because I didn't like the Florida weather. I said, it's just a disagreement, man. It's nothing insane. Whatever. Huge agenda tonight. I don't know how we're going to split this up or something because my one cousin just left. She went to dinner, and then my other cousin was in class, but I think he's leaving. So if you see me looking down at my phone, I promise I'm not just doom scrolling. My attention is still here. I'm tracking because I got to keep this a secret at this point, man. It's gone on this long. I got to do it. We got a nice DC in the cup over there. We got some cold brew in the cup because I was almost out, and I was like, you know what? I might as well just finish it off. I didn't even finish the bottle, actually. There's still a little bit left, so I'm going to piss myself even more off the next time I use it. But huge agenda. I think we're a lot of college football talk. I realize when I get into my deep dives into the sports talk in terms of the primers, like NFL, I don't need to talk about every single NFL matchup for the weekend. Looking at you, Patriots and Jets. I don't need to, that's tonight, by the way. I don't need to go into every single matchup. I want to do the headliners. The college football thing, ranked matchups, my pick'ems, picks probably that I do with this weekly league I'm in with my guys from college. I think I go too deep into the dive. It's too much of a deep dive. I can't swim that well, so dive too far. You got to come up. You have to. You got to breathe. I don't want gills, but nevertheless, Mike from work. Not Mike, the other Mike, my Mike that just got married. No, not that one. Mike from work, he said the intro to this needed to be excellent. He wanted to be entertained. And I remember right before I went on my Jags just tirade, my rant, tirade, whatever you want to call it, Tuesday night, I said, I'm going to save this Publix story for tonight. I don't think it's fantastic. I just think it's kind of funny. It's very odd. But last Friday, I've been looking at the Facebook. I follow his page on Facebook now. It's called My Coupon Experts or something like that, along those lines. Or the Coupon Experts, I don't know, whatever. But they post the weekly BOGO deals at Publix. And you know me, I'm a bargainer. I'm a bargainista. Is there a male term of that? Because, there's waiter and waitress, actor, actress. Bargainista kind of sounds female-ish. It kind of sounds feminine. Bargainist? No, that just sounds like racist almost. Yeah, no, you can't. It's not bargainist. Bargainister kind of sounds like it's a slur at that point because it's like bargainister, bargainista. So that wouldn't. I might have to cut that out. That wouldn't work either. Bargainisto. No, that just sounds like you're trying to be Spanish, and people would probably get offended by that. I don't think there's any term I can come up with for a male bargainer that isn't A, feminine, or B, offensive to someone. Maybe just bargainer. How about that? Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with Bargainer. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go with Bargainer. Whatever. But this Facebook page posts the weekly BOGO deals for Publix. And I do my grocery shopping at Walmart. I do it at Aldi sometimes. But that's, I go cheap. I buy Walmart brand stuff. I'm fine with buying store brand stuff. I got no ego, man. You see this? You see this? No ego whatsoever on this guy. Okay? Like, come on. Too many girls have broken my heart for me to even have the ounce of ego. Okay? That's it. It's just the way it is. Sue me. Don't really care. But I went there on Friday after work because I said, I got nothing going on. I was gonna play some Xbox later that night with the boys. And I said, let me come home. Actually, I don't know if I came home. No, I did. I came home, got changed, drove up to the Publix. One I actually went to all the time in my childhood when I'd go with my parents, and walked in there, and I was like, wow, I legit have not been in here in probably 8 years, probably even longer. There's a potential. Side note, right next to this Publix is the CC's Pizza. Yes, I love CC's Pizza. Haven't had it in a couple of years. I had it all the time growing up with my buddy and my family, and then also with my boys in high school, early college. Had it all the time when we're all in town together. Oh, it was fantastic. CC's best you can get. All you can eat pizza. They got the brownies with the powdered sugar on it. They got the cinnamon roll sticks. Oh my god, those cinnamon sticks! They might put crack in those sticks. Wow, those things are so good. I could probably eat 20 of them as an appetizer for the main cinnamon sticks. I'm not even joking. I go in there, get the all-you-can-eat buffet, okay? Start off with like 10 cinnamon sticks, feeling good. Go eat your pizza, whatever you want. Maybe the cheese, the pepperoni, the mac and cheese pizza, the buffalo chicken, the supreme. Why are you getting supreme pizza at CC's Pizza? Keep it simple, you idiot. And then once you're done with the pizza, you're like, wow, whoa, overload with the meat sweats and then all the cheese and all the sauce. And you know what? Wow, I could kind of use something sweet. Go back, double dip in the cinnamon sticks. Yeah, that's how you cap it off, okay? City to start, sticks to close. It's that simple. It's just pizza sandwiched in between cinnamon stick eating. That's fine. Wow, this is really bad so far. Horrible timing, horrible agenda, just keeping it on track. It's fine. But we walk into the Publix right next to the CC's. And like right when you walk into every Publix, off to the right is typically, all the Publixes I've been to, I think, off to the right is typically the bakery deli area. And then when you walk in, right, just a little bit of a right next to where you pick up the handheld shopping carts. A little bit there's like a table, there's just a section with like 4 or 5 big bins of their BOGO deals. And it's usually like, maybe granola bars, wraps, the rice packets, just stuff along those natures. A lot of like snack bars, just very, chips sometimes as well. Just the BOGO deals, the small like finger foods basically, for the most part. Or small sides, stuff like that. Well, I was looking over there because they had the Uncle Jerry's. Oh God, I don't remember. No, it's Uncle Ben's. Ben and Jerry, idiot. It was the Uncle Ben's rice packet things. That you stick in the microwave for like 2 minutes or something, and then you can just eat it. That's what you do after you stick something in the microwave and you eat it. You freaking idiot. But I was looking at those. They had some granola bars. I think some little protein bars. I was just meandering. I had been in there for no joke, 30 seconds. 30 seconds I'm in there standing there at these bins. And this fella, just a fellow, I thought it was just a fellow Publix shopper. I kind of overhear him off the side of my head. And right now I'm facing the doors to go outside. Like, I got my, you walk in, basically turn around to look at these buckets. So like, I'm facing the doors to walk back out. I'm facing the doors of the entrance. He's to my right. And come up, and I hear like vaguely, excuse me, sir. And I just assumed no one was talking to me because why would anyone be talking to me, Like, hey, excuse me, sir, flies. Oh, sorry. I'm wearing athletic shorts. But I said the first time, I don't really pay any mind to it because I honestly didn't think it was to me. And I kind of halfway heard it. And he says, excuse me, sir, like a little bit louder. And I look over and he, smiles, he gives me the head nod. He goes, hey, I'm not trying to bother you. Yeah. And he goes, I'm not, not trying to waste your time. I'm not trying to bother you. I'm not trying to harass you or anything. He goes, I promise you, like, I've already talked to the managers here, so that's not my goal. Like, we can talk to them if you need to. And I was like, well, I'm a nice guy. You already bothered me. I'm trying to get my BOGO on and you're fucking harassing me already. So you're already interrupting my BOGO experience. So you're pissing me off now. I'll hear you out though. And because at that point, like, you could already tell, like, 10 seconds in, I'm like, this isn't just a simple favor. Like, this isn't a simple excuse me, or can you come let me get this off the shelf or something, something like that. And he goes, it gives me this long spiel. This super long spiel. I'm not joking. Like it entailed him and I standing at these BOGO bins for a good 5 minutes straight of him talking and me just being like, okay, yeah, okay. That's all I would say. Yep, I understand. No, I got you. You always got to, no, I got you. Make them think you're on the same page as them. In reality, I'm like, how the hell can I get away from this conversation? But so he's going on about the spiel. He goes, my car's in the shop. It's at the Mavis Tires up the road. He goes, about half a mile up the road. He goes, I think it's near the mall. He goes, I'm not that well versed in this area. And I think it's right next to the mall. I said, oh, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen the sign, all that. I know what you're talking about. And I was like, okay. So if it's a fabric, let me leave with this. If it's a fabricated story, the dude actually made up a ton of details. He went into a lot. He sold it if it's a fabricated story, and so for that I have to give him props. I'm just gonna say that because my I had to get my car worked on. I thought it was gonna be kind of like an oil change. Something seemed like it was kind of wrong. I just drove into town, and he goes, and it ended up being $600 or $700 at this point. And then he goes, then they're saying I got a leak somewhere, and it's gonna be another like $200 or $300. And he goes, look, man, I gotta pay my bills. I got rent to pay, and honestly, I thought he was just gonna ask for like a couple, maybe a couple bucks for groceries or something. To which I was in a good mood. It was Friday night. I had just gone through a really long, really deep state of what is the point of my life? What is the purpose of Andy's existence here on Earth? We got out of that. I didn't get the answer to that. I don't know what the answer is yet, but I got out of that. I was like, let's go. Let's get my Friday night going. Let's get my Friday night on. Let's get the BOGOs. And he goes, look, my car's in the shop. And then he gets personal. He gets really personal. And he goes, I'm here in town to see, my family and my stepfather. He got the cops called on him by his mom. I don't know if it was a stepfather or like stepbrother, he's saying, or step uncle. Maybe a step uncle, basically. He's basically saying his step uncle because his aunt, he goes, and I don't even know, I don't know what her problem is. We all think she's just being crazy. But my aunt, she called the cops on him, and he's at the police station right now. We got to go bail him out or something, and we got to post bail, and that's where stepfather. He goes, and this wouldn't be a problem. I promise you. I'm not trying to cause an issue, but my stepfather, he's working tonight. He doesn't get off until like 8 or 9 o'clock, or maybe 10 o'clock. Maybe he doesn't get off till late. And he goes, we got the two girls. We got two little girls, 6 and 8 years old. They're in the car outside of Mavis, the other car basically. And no, his car outside of Mavis. It's not getting worked on yet, I guess. That's where the story got a little murky, and maybe where I kind of lost touch reality a little bit, because I think I was just like, this is a data dump, man. This is a huge data dump. You're losing me right now. Like, I'm just trying to get my BOGOs on. But mind you, I've been in the Publix for 30 seconds before he approached me, so he caught me on a bad side. But he goes, look, I got my girls in the car waiting. I don't, we're able to feed them. It's fine. Like, I'm not going to ask you for, whatever you're able to contribute. It's fine. I'm not trying to run your pockets dry. I'm like, well, thank God, because I wasn't here to get my pockets run dry. I was here for the BOGOs, God damn it. But he goes, look, and anything you can help with is fine. So he finally started getting to the point a little bit. But I forgot the best part, damn it! I forgot the best part. But when he goes, my aunt, we all think she's being a little crazy and a little over the top because they got in an argument, I guess. And look, my step uncle, like, he's a really good guy, man. We've all met him. We've all met him multiple times. He's been to 2 family reunions. So, it's just like he's just not that kind of guy. And I said, wait a minute, let's back up a second. You learn something new every day. Apparently, if you go to 2 family reunions or 2 family gatherings, as he said, 2 family gatherings, you're clear of any potential charges. Like, write that down, just so you know, in case you want to try to, call the cops on someone for being for being a piece of shit, basically. In case you want to call the cops on someone for being a piece of shit, just think, has this guy been to 2 of our family gatherings? And if the answer is yes, it's out. Charges dropped. He's acquitted. That's it. Charges are dropped. Doesn't matter. That applies to any crime, actually. Petty theft, maybe robbery. That's petty theft, actually, you idiot. But that applies to any breaking and entering. Yep. He's been to 2 family gatherings. He's good. So I don't know where that math came from, but that's where it came from, apparently, in this guy's eyes. because they've met up twice at two family gatherings, so he must be a stand-up gentleman. And he may be. Maybe it's all fabricated, but I'm just saying that logic the logic ain't sound. But he goes that kind of bring about. I'm like, I don't know if I don't really recall reading in the textbooks in school that going to two family gatherings immediately makes you an upstanding citizen. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've ever read that in the books. Maybe I wasn't paying attention in that lesson of history class, but that's fine. It is, But regardless, there's that. He's going on the spiel, and at this point, I'm just like, look, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I might have a couple bucks in my car. I don't have any cash on me, obviously, in my wallet. I was like, I might have a couple bucks in my car, my center console I've had in there forever, for ages, a couple bucks. I'm gonna go, this is my only way out. My cop out right here is getting that out of my car, give him a couple bucks, send him on his way, get out of my face, please, whatever. And he goes, and he finally gets to the point. He goes, look, the hotel voucher is $75. He goes, it's not free, unfortunately, but it's significantly discounted, $75. And I looked at him. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good deal, man. I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. Shoot. And he goes, look, you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. I understand. Like, look, the kids are like all my people are right up at Mavis. Like, we can go up the road. You can see them. I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm a pass. I'm gonna stick here at Publix, get my BOGOs, and go home. I don't need to go see your family at Mavis. It's fine. You've already won me over. Not really. I just want to get you out of my face. And this story's going on forever. I don't even know if this is entertaining at this point. But he goes, look, it kept continuously doing this. He goes, look, you can Zelle me, you can cash at me. I know Zelle is pretty, scam proof or something. I was like, I didn't even mention scam. You're the one that just mentioned scam, dude. Like now I think you're going to scam me. Like now I think, and I wasn't going to do anything electronic, but I was like, now I think if there's anything electronic, you're going to scam me. All right, now you've raised the red flag. You've raised the Andy red flag. Okay. You've raised. It's there. It's blaring. The alarm's going off in my head. Get away, And so he goes on this whole tirade, this whole thing. And I go, look. I said, hey, look. I believe you. It's fine. Like, look, man. I understand everyone goes through tough times. I said, look, stay right here. Don't go anywhere, or else I'm going to lose you. I said, stay right here. I'll go out to my car, see if I got a couple bucks. I got no cash on me right now. I'm sorry, dude. And I didn't even mention anything about Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. I didn't even give him the opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I got that. He mentioned it. I didn't follow up on it at all. See, mind games, dude. Mind games. There's levels to this. And so I go to my car, and I kind of like this. I take a different path than the aisle that my car's down. So like I go out, my car was down. So like if you go out the entrance, there's this row of parking, and then there's one to the right. I was down to the right one, okay? I was down the other one. I walked down this one straight, and I kept kind of like peeking behind my head to see if he'd walk out the door. Because where we were standing, you can't look out. You can't see out the doors. But I didn't see him. Didn't see him at all. I go get in my car. I was looking around the parking lot. I was freaking detective shit going on. And I was just making sure. Because if there was anything that was hairy, I was getting my car and leaving. I get my car, sitting there for about 30 seconds to a minute. And the hell did I just hear? I feel like I just heard something outside. It sounds terrifying. I'm not going to lie. It might be a cat, actually. That's going to be my hope because I got no self-defense. But I go sit in my car, and about 30 seconds go by, and I look at my center console. I've got $7. I've got 5 and 2 ones. 3 bills, $7. He's made his money, And I wait like about 60 seconds, maybe. Not even. Get out of my car. No one's there. No one's walking around. I get up. I walk back up. I'm at the double doors now, basically, to go back into the store. And then he starts to walk out right then. I say, I caught you. You're a little stinky bastard. I think he just got impatient, probably. He probably thought I left or something. And so, but he didn't see my car, didn't see nothing. Nothing from where I came. I played my hand perfectly. I really did. I played my hand perfectly. But I go, hey man, look, I had in my hand. I say, hey man, look, this is all I got. It's $7, man. I know it's not much, but it's something, And he goes, thank you, man. I appreciate it. He gives me a fist bump. And then he doubles down. He goes, look, I'm not trying to run your pockets dry. Like if you're able to give, whatever you're able to give, I'm so appreciative of you. He goes, I got the Zelle and the catch up. He goes, look, I promise you, everyone's up there. Like you can drive up there. We can see them. He goes, it's just $75. He goes, I'm at about $17. And he goes, I need about 58. And now after you're 7, he goes, I need about, he took like 5 seconds. He said, about 51. I said, good math. We're good at math. There he comes. Like, there we go. 58 minus 7 is 51. But I got a little mad. I was like, dude, I literally just handed you $7 5 seconds ago. I just handed you $7 5 seconds ago. You made $7 in 5 minutes. That's a pretty good deal. He said he'd been up there for 3 hours. He gave the most specific time ever, too. He said, it was about 5:45 at this time. He goes, I've been here about since like 2:27 this afternoon. I said, how do you know that time? Did you clock in or something as, like, what? Did you clock into your shift at Publix or something to beg for money? I didn't understand that. I was like, okay, a little odd, but okay. But yeah, I said, look, honestly, and then I thought also, I'm like, if you've made $17 in 3 hours, that's not, you're making $5 an hour, man. That's below minimum wage here in Florida. That's not great. You're not doing it right. This whole spiel of you talking for like 5-10 minutes straight, not letting us interject at all, that really turns people away. I'm not going to lie. You needed to be straight to the point. Unlike me in the story where it's gone on for like 15 minutes now, probably, we are 21 minutes into this episode. This is ridiculous. I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to make the cut now. This is just insanity. But yeah, I was like, dude, you made $17 in 3 hours. That is terrible. That's a terrible per hour, rate. I don't know if you're aware of that. That's not good. Like I just doubled your fucking, I don't know. I mean, you got $7, 5 hours. Like, this might be your best hour yet, dude. Make it count. But yeah, he doubled down. He said, look, anything you're able to give, and I really appreciate it, man. That's all we're asking for. And I said, dude, did you just forget about what happened 20 seconds ago? I just handed you $7. Like, it's in your head. You just put it in your pocket. And I cut him off at that point. I said, yeah, man, look, I was like, I got bills to pay, dude. I said, I got rent that I just paid. I said, look, dude, that's all I can give you, like $7. I kind of defended it, which as I should. I mean, that's a random fucking dude. A random fucking dude just gave you $7 and you're going to fucking try to ask for more? Get the hell out of here, dude. I said, look, man, look, man, I was like, $7 is all I got, dude. It's better than nothing. Like, I got my own bills I got to pay. I'm sorry. He goes, I appreciate you, man. And then he turns around, walks away. I don't know if he walked completely away. He walked away. Didn't go back into the Publix, though, which better for me because I get away from him. But that's the story, That's the 25-minute synopsis of my Publix story that happened on Friday. I don't know. I don't even know where to go from here. I think we're gonna take a pee break. We'll get into college football, and we'll go from there. I think we need to have a talk about Miami. They're the latest team, now granted, but the last weekend with Virginia and Louisville, I believe, both losing, they at least have a chance now to make the ACC championship / playoff still. But we need to have to talk about Miami. They lost to SMU 2 weeks ago. Last weekend, they won. They righted the ship a little bit, but last weekend they won. That's okay. That's how we're talking about last weekend, though. 2 weekends ago, they lost to SMU. They were a double-digit favorite, I believe. I believe they were a 10.5-point favorite, and they lost. Straight up lost. I took them to win, not to cover. I just took them to win. They lost. I'm not mad about it because I don't like Miami. But the initial college football playoff rankings had them at 18th. I believe now they have them at 15th. So they moved up 3 spots. That is because both Virginia and Louisville both lost last week to inferior opponents, so it dropped them back down. The thing standing in Miami's way right now is that they now have 2 losses in the ACC, and I don't believe. Well, no, yeah, there is no one undefeated now in the ACC play, I should say. Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pittsburgh, golly, dude, good lord. So Miami is 4-2, is 3-2 in the ACC. Georgia Tech, Virginia, and Pittsburgh, and SMU are all 5-1. So you have 4 teams at 5-1, and Miami has lost to SMU. Duke is 4-1. Louisville is 4-2, who Miami lost to. So you have 2 teams ahead of you with one with the same loss, one with 1 loss that you don't have the tiebreaker over. So basically, your chances of passing them are very difficult, very slim, because unless these teams just tank the rest of the ACC play, but the odds of them making ACC championship very slim. I don't really see that happening at all. So you can kind of kiss that goodbye, unless just a lot more chaos happens in that conference. Just a lot of just carnage, really. But they're still 15th, so they have a chance at making it as an at-large, kind of sneaking into that 11th seed, because the 12th spot is 99% sure that 12th spot is going to be for the G5 team. USF, James Madison, Memphis, one of those teams. Actually, I think Memphis might have dropped because they lost again. But you have to assume that the 12th seed is that. So you have to get up to 11th. Their problem is I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Like, Who's not going to make it? So the top 4 conference champs make it, which are presumably going to be one of Ohio State or Indiana make it from the Big Ten. The other team takes it at large. Right now, as it stands, Texas A&M and Bama are going to face in the SEC championship. The other would take another at large. Then you've got, I don't know, Big 12, probably the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red Raiders are going to be the Big 12. I would assume the Big 12. And then the ACC champion, nobody knows. Like there's a possibility the ACC champion doesn't even make the playoffs at this point because they changed it now. Well, did they? No, yeah, they didn't change. I don't know if they changed it from last year in that regard. No, they didn't. The 4 top champs might not make it, dude. Like, oh, no. Am I just an idiot right now? The 4 group of 4 champs make it. Yes? Yeah. But then it's like, you have a lot of just a jumble. I'm going off the rails. This is bad. You have just a jumble of other teams. I mean, like, so let's say everything stands for. Actually, I'm going to not stand for. Let's say Indiana and Bama win their conference championships, and then Texas Tech and who's the top ACC team right now? They don't even have an ACC team in the playoff actually. So that's kind of insane. Am I reading this wrong? No, I'm not. No, yeah. In the 12-team college football playoff bracket, they don't even have an ACC team in there. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SEC teams, 1, 2, 3 Big Ten teams, 1 Big 12, 1 Group of 5. Notre Dame's an independent, obviously. And I think that's it. Actually, I think the math checks out there. But yeah, they don't even have an ACC. So that's my point. Is they don't respect the ACC at all, which is understandable. It's a whole lot of mid. I mean, Miami was supposed to run it, and they've had 2 really bad losses. God, dude, this is really bad focus this episode. I'm so sorry. I meant to be brief with this. The picks will be brief, I promise. But does Miami have a Mario Cristobal problem? I don't think so. I think Mario Cristobal has an expectations problem. Truthfully, I think he has a problem with expectations, and maybe I think that's too broad of a statement, in my opinion. I think he has an issue of taking care of business against inferior opponents consistently. He does. That's the gist of it. He now has 6 losses in his tenure at Miami. So this is year 4 for him. He now has 6 losses where Miami entered the game as a double-digit favorite, which is not ideal to say the least. That's just keeping a buck at that. Not ideal at all. And once or twice it happens. Maybe once every other year, once every couple years. 6 losses as a double-digit favorite is unacceptable. When you have that much talent that Miami has, especially on the lines, the offensive line, defensive line, when you have that much talent in the trenches, you should be able, those sides, both those units, both those position groups should just take over the game. It should. Even with Carson Beck's having an off day, like he had against Louisville, he had 4 picks, I think. And then SMU just didn't look sharp. They just didn't look sharp. And SMU, to their credit, threw the ball against Miami all game. But that's the thing is, it's like now you're grasping for straws. You don't really control your own destiny anymore. The season started where you controlled your destiny. You beat Notre Dame. I got beef with that too. But you beat Notre Dame. You beat at the time, it seemed like a decent Florida team. Not really. Kind of the season was already going off the rails, but that Florida win looks like shit. Honestly, I don't really think that win should get much credit at this point. And then in terms of the rest of your schedule, like that's it. Your one win is Notre Dame, which is a great win. But I want to get to that. Why are people so upset that Notre Dame is ranked higher than Miami in the playoff rankings? Notre Dame is now ranked 9th and Miami is ranked 15th. I think last week it was Notre Dame was 9th or 10th and Miami was 18th. And people are up in arms because of the whole, Miami beat Notre Dame, so why should, and Notre Dame also has 2 losses as well, just like Miami, so why is Notre Dame ranked so much higher than Miami? Here's the thing. Maybe you could probably make the argument, some people will, about the whole timing of losses. If you lose at the beginning of the season, it's a little bit better than stomaching the losses at the end of the season. I get that. Cool. I do. I understand that. It's the quality of the losses, dude. Notre Dame's 2 losses are to Miami on the road in Coral Gables and at home a 1-point loss to Texas A&M. Texas A&M, undefeated, number 3 in the country, has the argument. Honestly, Texas A&M has an argument to be 1 or 2. They do. Shoot me. It's just the way it is. Texas A&M has a great resume. They could very well finish the season undefeated, could very well win the SEC championship, and B, the 1 or 2 overall seed going in, And so it's like, what is, and then Miami's 2 losses are Louisville. Hey, all the credit to Jeff Brom. I love what Jeff Brom's doing there. Louisville's awesome. They're still right in the thick of a playoff spot, the ACC championship. They really have to win the championship, I think. But they're still in the thick of the playoff. Obviously, that's a ranked loss. Obviously, but you lost at home. That's not a great look. You lost at home to what was an inferior opponent on paper. Maybe the spread, maybe you can't go off of that, but you came into the game as a 16 or 17 and a half point favorite. I'm pretty sure Miami came into the game as a 3-score favorite. And so it's that I feel like that has to cost, that has to at least, amount to something, right? No, like, sorry, I'm trying to see if my cousin is on his way here, actually, to see if he's coming home. But that has to mean something. You lost at home to an inferior opponent as a 3-touchdown favorite, and then you lost on the road as a 2-possession favorite. That's inexcusable. That right there is why Notre Dame's ranked higher than you, because Notre Dame is taking care of business outside of they've had their 2 ranked losses to a top 5 team, arguably, a top 3 team, and then a top 15, top 20 team. That's it. One was on the road, one was at home, and they're both very close losses as well. I get it. Miami's losses were both pretty close too. It's just the quality of loss. And it sounds rhetorical, or not rhetorical. It sounds, kind of dumb coming out of your mouth, like quality of loss. That's just the way it is, man. It's quality of opponent when your loss is like. I don't get it. There was a huge uproar over that. I don't really know why, but to each their own, I guess. Notre Dame, deservingly so, deserves to be higher than Miami. I mean, I don't understand why people are trying to give Miami all credit, because they've navigated they've navigated the one difficult team on their schedule, and then they've, for the most part, navigated their easy parts, and they've had 2 hiccups. That's it. Now you got to earn your way back in. You do. You have to earn your way back in. You need help. That's the way it is, dude. But this playoff bracket's gonna be kind of funky, dude. I guess. I don't know how that works now that I think about it. Is it? Oh, maybe it's just the top 4 FBS champions. Maybe that's what it is. It's the top 4 FBS conference champs. And right now, the committee is basically viewing that as they think that whoever's going to win the ACC will be ranked lower than whoever wins one of the G5 conferences. USF, James Madison, maybe Memphis if they come back, stuff like that. And I think that's the way they see it. I think they obviously no one really saw that coming in terms of like the ACC team, whoever, let's just say Georgia Tech loses their last 2 games. They end the season 9-3, and then they win the ACC championship, go 10-3. What are they going to be ranked? I mean, their record isn't great against, their strength of schedule isn't great. I mean, they could easily be out of the top 25, and win their ACC championship, and then the committee kind of looks at it. Well, sorry, like you aren't really ranked in our top 12. We don't see it, man. We just don't see it. Who knows? It could happen. It could absolutely happen. That's what the bracket is showing right now. Week 2, and obviously there's a lot of time left there's going to be more chaos. There always is. But that's just the way it is right now. That's reality. It is. Now we've all been waiting for the picks. I promise you I'm going to be brief. We're going to be brief. We're running out of time here, unfortunately. I got like a whole studio set up now. I've got the mic. I've got the headset. I've got this camera. It's a whole lot of things. I love it. I do. I love it. But we got the picks now. Handful of games. NFL. I don't even know if we're going to do NFL. Maybe. I'll check. I'll take a peek if there's any intriguing matchups. But I'm going to do my pick-ems because it's probably more of the headliner matchups. But Clemson and Louisville. Louisville, 2.5-point favorite at home against Clemson. Clemson got a big win against Florida State. I'm sorry, Joel. Cover your ears. Give me Louisville to win and cover. I think they stay in the playoffs. I think they keep their ACC championship appearance hopes alive. I think Louisville wins this game. Michigan on the road against Northwestern, a 12.5-point favorite. I don't love that spread because Michigan's offense just isn't great. Northwestern also isn't great, but 12.5 is a lot. I could see Michigan winning this game by like 7 to 10 points and their defense kind of taking over. But I'm going to play it conservative. I'm going to say Michigan wins but doesn't cover. Northwestern covers, but Michigan wins. Notre Dame, 11.5-point favorite on the road against Pitt. Again, these 11.5, it seems like a lot. I think Notre Dame, look, they've been playing with their backs against the wall since week 3 because they started 0-2. And at that point, you can't have any more hiccups. You have to win the next 10. I think that's what they've been doing. They've been taking care of business. It's going to be Pitt is a very surprisingly sneaky good team still. I mean, they're 5-1 in the ACC. They have everything in front of them still, 7-2. Obviously, this isn't a conference game for them, but Pitt's offense travels, and they're at home, so it doesn't have to travel. But Pitt's offense shows up. They have a great offense. They're averaging. Gosh, they're averaging just in SEC in an ACC play. They're averaging almost 40 points a game. Overall, they're averaging still almost 40 points a game, even if you include out of conference. So that kind of skews it a little bit for me. I don't know, man. Averaging almost 40 points a game against Notre Dame's defense is improving. It is improving. I'm going to take Notre Dame. Win and cover. I still think they win and cover. I don't think Pitt's faced defense like Notre Dame. So give me Notre Dame win and cover. Arizona on the road against Cincy. Cincy's a 6.5-point favorite. Both teams very good this year. Surprised, shockingly very good. No, I wouldn't say shockingly, just surprisingly. They're fun. They're fun. They're both fun teams this year. But Cincy 6.5-point favorite. I think they win that game and cover. I could see them winning by more than a touchdown. But give me that one. USF 9.5-point favorite over Navy. Navy just had a thumping against Notre Dame last week. I think they bounced back somewhat, but I think USF just has so much to play for still, and Alex Gold is just going to have those boys humming. They're going to be ready. I don't think they're not going to sleepwalk this game whatsoever and just try to get by it. I think USF wins. 9.5 is a lot because Navy's going to run the ball. I could still see USF winning and covering. I'm going to a lot of covers this week for the win and cover. That's kind of crazy. Arkansas on the road against LSU. LSU's a 5.5-point favorite. Could this be another instance of where Florida, the Florida football team, they fire Billy Napier, they get really high up for the next, amped up for the next game because that next game is a huge rivalry game. Like last week, LSU played Bama and they played them close, 20-9. LSU's offense couldn't really get anything going, but they're really into that game. Same thing. Florida played Georgia very close, probably could have won that, should have won that game. And then they just laid an egg against Kentucky. And at that point, is it the players just start checking out? Be like, we lost the big game. That's kind of season's over at this point. Oh, well. I don't know. Arkansas's not that good either, though. Give me LSU win. Give me LSU win and cover. I don't think they win by 3. I think if LSU wins this game, they're going to win 1 to 2 possessions probably. So give me LSU win and cover. That's risky. Oklahoma on the road against Bama. Bama's a 6.5-point favorite. This one's tough. I'm gonna say Bama win, but doesn't cover. I'm gonna say it's a 3-point win. Bama plays a lot of really close games, especially in conference play, and I think Bama wins this game. It's a dogfight, dude. I think it's a 21-20 or 24-21 game. Yeah, I don't think Bama covers that. That's tough. Oklahoma's defense travels. Iowa USC. USC's a touchdown favorite again. 6.5-point. A lot of 6.5-point spreads here. I have no idea how to think about this game because both these teams, Iowa has no offense, but their defense their defense is elite. It is. But USC still has everything in front of them. I mean, Iowa's a 3-loss team, but their 3 losses are Iowa State by 3. Their 3 losses are by a combined 10 points. So do with that what you will. It's really difficult to gauge them because their defense is so freaking good. But USC's at home, and look, they burned me already. But they still have stuff to play for, they do. They have playoff hopes still, technically. I mean, I know they have 2. No, they only have 1 conference loss, so technically you have an outside chance at the Big Ten championship appearance, but you still have a chance at the playoff as an at-large, so you have to win out. I think Lane Kiffin just finds a way. Do I, though? Do I actually think that, though? I don't know. I don't like this at all, dude. I was going out west to California. It's a long flight, kind of. I don't know. Ooh, I don't like this game at all. No, I don't. I think Iowa loses. I think USC wins this game. Iowa had a heartbreaker against Oregon last week. I think USC wins this game. Do they cover? Yes. No. Well, yes. USC wins and covers. I gotta move on. Georgia 5.5-point favorite over Texas. Give me Georgia and cover. Dogs and cover. They beat Stark twice last year. I know Texas seems like they're kind of clicking a little more. I'm not buying it. I think Georgia wins at home against Texas. Win and cover. Sorry, I just don't see it. TCU versus BYU. Last one. BYU's a 4.5-point favorite. They had a very bad loss against Texas Tech last week. I think they bounce back. I don't think they fall off the rails. I don't see it. I don't think their season comes off the rails. They still have a lot to play for. They can still make the Big 12 championship. Give me BYU the bounce back, win and cover. USC does not win and cover. They win, but I'm not taking them to cover. I think it's gonna be close. That's my picks. Let's go to the NFL real quick. I gotta get everything packed up, dude. This is like full on like panic mode. Not really, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. I don't really care. I do care, actually. I don't want it to happen, but NFL, yeah, I already mentioned that. Jets and Patriots tonight. Is there anything really like appealing? Not really. Washington at Miami, Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa Bay at Bills, Bucks and Bills. That's a hell of a game. Bills a 5.5-point favorite. They looked horrible in Miami last week against the Dolphins, and the Patriots lost to, or the Bucks lost to the Patriots. So that's a tough game. I think the Bills get back on track. I think the Patriots just banged up a little bit still. I think the Bills find a way to win this game. Give me that one. None of these other ones seem good. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. It's a battle of the grandpas, Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. So, and Joe Flacco's already beaten them once, so that's going to be interesting. But Steelers at home. Give me the Steelers there. Chargers at Jags. I'm not getting worked up again. Chargers win. Don't even care. Chargers win. I'm out. Rams hosting the Seahawks is a hell of a game. Give me the Rams, though. I think those are two really good teams, by the way. Those two teams could easily be in the Super Bowl. I think so. But give me the Rams. I think they win. I think they win that game. 3.5-point favorite. Yeah, 3.5-point favorite. Yeah, I can see that. Chiefs at the Broncos. Broncos have been kind of scuffling lately. They won that really snoozer 10-7 against the Raiders last Thursday. Which, hey, maybe having the extra days off to prepare helps. Maybe. Who knows? But I think the Chiefs win on the road, unfortunately. I just think so. And then Sunday Night Football's a banger. Lions and Eagles. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Give me some juice. There we go. Lions and Eagles. Yeah. Give me the Lions. Give me the Lions. Yeah. The Eagles just keep rolling. I mean, the Eagles are the Eagles. I get it. They're a juggernaut. They're a machine. But give me the Lions right here. Give me the Lions to win this game. Upset them on the road in Philly. How about that? Most brief picks ever. So, I apologize for that story. I might have to edit some of that stuff out. I don't know. I'll go back and check. But rambled on with the story, rambled on about something else. God knows what. Briefly with the picks. I'm not gonna bore you with these picks, put you to sleep. I don't really care. We're not gonna do it, I'm just not doing it, man. No need to, You're welcome, by the way. But that's about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm gonna be staying at my parents' house sitting for the pet sitting. How about that? So obviously, I'm going to throw a rager. Not really, but hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy. I'll try to cut it up. Maybe make some more shorts out of this. I don't really know how I'm going to, but love you guys. Take care.